Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I decorated the place a little bit. It's coming together. The plan is all coming together. And I got George Orwell, my favorite author of all time and philosopher of all time. Well, one of my favorite philosophers, my favorite author of all time, and one of my favorite philosophers, one of the greatest individuals. Just a brilliant, brilliant human being. And then, of course, Winston Churchill. I have him in bobblehead form also. And then John Belushi, one of the great comedians of all time. So I think I have all my bases covered in terms of where I want my good vibes to come from. We are going to talk about a lot today. It's going to be crazy. I can't believe what's happening. The media is, I'm going to let you know something right now. It's going to sound like hyperbole, but it's not. And I want everyone to listen to this. And I will continue saying this for the next, up until midterms. The future of our country is at stake on November 6, 2018. Democrats will lose again, thankfully. But the future of our country is at stake. You can either go ahead and have a country. You can either have a country with a media that tries to undo an election. The media has essentially tried to replace Trump because they don't like his personality. They don't like the fact that he's perhaps not a neoconservative. They don't like a lot about him, mainly his personality. He's the most anti-establishment politician. Now you can say, oh, he's so establishment. Yes, of course, he's establishment. But ask yourself why. Ask yourself why the media, the Democratic Party, and before we get to Rod Rosenstein actually engaging in not only insubordinate behavior, I would say possibly criminal. I don't know how you can engage in this type of behavior if you're working under a president. So yes, George Orwell, and then Churchill and Belushi. Yesterday night, by the way, yesterday evening, in the last segment, I'll go through the best case scenario they get is 22 seats. That's the best case scenario. It could be quite close. They could get in the House. And I went through each of the 37 toss-ups / lean Democrat, Republican incumbent districts. So there, let's say 37 toss-ups that Cook has. I went through each and every one in terms of the primary vote. And in cases where, I'll get to it in a second, but later. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll just read you this. Rosenstein suggested secretly recording Trump and discussed 25th Amendment. New York Times. The Deputy Attorney General, this is today by Adam Goldman and Michael S. Schmidt. The Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, suggested last year that he secretly record President Trump in the White House to expose the chaos consuming the administration. This guy should be fired today. Today. If it's a New York Times article, we already want him fired anyway. You can't really fire people just based on an article, but he already deserved to be fired for signing off on a FISA warrant without reading it. And he discussed recruiting cabinet members to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Mr. Trump from office for being unfit. They are trying to go ahead. And unfortunately, this is what happened with the Republican Party. In 2008, the Republican Party, what happened was they went off the rails also. But the thing is, they only had Fox. Glitter, Akai, yes, it is called a coup. It's called a soft coup. Close to 600 people, 5 minutes in. It's going to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, what's taking place in our country is very dangerous. What's taking place in our country is a media that has unified with the Democratic Party. Judy Russell, Rod worried he was going to be wearing Gitmo suit. Judy, thank you. What's taking place is an attempt to scratch and claw and deceive and manipulate and hurt and simply try to engage in a coup. They're trying to depose an elected U.S. official, and they're doing it through anonymous writers, which is like that these accusations, Steele dossier. It's not going to work, though. Papa D, perhaps my moniker for Kerry also applies in this case. The creeping crapper creeps in and craps and creeps out. Pretty much. Papa D, pretty much. So let's get to this. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous. And then you have George Papadopoulos today. After reports are finally out that the British and Australian governments were actively spying and trying to sabotage the Trump campaign, those two governments called the president to ask him not to declassify any FISA documents. Strange. Trump is wrong here. And I'll tell you what Trump is wrong. He shouldn't care. He should declassify them. And that's it. No offense to the UK or Australia. I have Winston Churchill and George Orwell, but both of them would have, well, that's two opposite mentalities right there. Orwell and Churchill in many ways. But they would have declassified, Orwell would have declassified everything, of course. He wrote 1984. But Glitter, okay, thank you. What Trump is doing is prolonging the inevitable and appeasing people who hate him. And he shouldn't do that. Now, it's going to go ahead. It's going to come out in the open. Maybe he's waiting, like the closer to election day. Maybe it works out for him. Also, maybe the New York Times is helping Trump in some bizarre way. Rosenstein needs to be fired. Once Rosenstein's fired, you can fire Mueller. Using my noggin. So I find it very strange that the New York Times is doing Trump a solid. I find it very, 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 very bizarre, very strange. I find it very strange. When you're strange. I find it very bizarre, weird, that Rosenstein needs to be fired. And now they've given Trump a reason to fire him Monday. And no one's going to, even the Democrats won't. Democrats will, the way Democrats think is they're like, well, he's crazy. So they can go ahead and use the 25th anyway because he is nuts, you know. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton's like saying she survived Bosnian sniper fires, completely batty. Called black youth super predators. Hillary Clinton is always lying, said it was a security review, wasn't as an FBI criminal investigation, even though it was a cover-up. Said she deleted yoga emails. Bizarre, lying all the time. I find it very just strange that why would New York Times give Trump exactly what he needs to fire Mueller. He could then go ahead and put an interim number 2 in there, because you get an interim number 2, then you get then you get another deputy attorney general, an interim number 2 who will then fire Mueller, and they can't do anything about it. I find it odd. So I think Trump has friends at the New York Times, has to, maybe 1 or 2. Maybe the New York Times knows that the Democrats are probably going to lose. I did my calculations yesterday, my analysis. It's pretty good, actually. I'll get to it later. The best they get is 22. And that's with giving 11 wins. I just gave them 11 wins. I didn't even analyze seats that were that had an incumbent Republican who wasn't primaried. So because I didn't know, I couldn't gauge how many votes he got compared to the challenger. So for a lot of these seats, well, whatever. I'll get to it in a second or a little later. But the best they get is 22, and that's if everything works out in their favor. That's if everything works out in their favor, ladies and gentlemen. It could be close. You're not getting 23. If they get 23, I'll have to eat my words, but I don't care. They're not going to get 23, and it'll be a win for George Orwell, a win for John Belushi, and a win for Churchill, and a win for us and you and me and the country. GOP wins in Texas, exactly, major cultural divide, 139 years. Latinos are moving towards the conservative movement, Republicans. This is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Let's read this. 800 people, 12 minutes in. Let's read this. Rod Rosenstein suggested secretly recording Trump and discussed 25th Amendment. The Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, suggested last year that he secretly record President Trump in the White House to expose the chaos consuming the administration. None of your business, Rosenstein. None of your business. None of your business about chaos. Focus on your work of trying to undermine Trump. Just focus on your work of trying to just cover up the deep state. None of your business. The chaos. Well, was there chaos when Obama destroyed Libya with a NATO bombing? Oh, there wasn't chaos, but there was chaos in Libya. I'd rather have no chaos and no regime change in another country and a little chaotic environment, work environment in the White House. And he discussed recruiting the cabinet members to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove. Well, did President Obama, did he get a psychological evaluation for saying 57 states, or how many states did he say? What about Hillary Clinton when in the memorial, she just fell down? Nobody said anything but, well, could there be 25th? No. Could you imagine if Trump stumbles, they'd be like, okay, that's it, remove him. This is insane. This is really, really dangerous. I mean, these people, if given power, I mean, who knows what they would do? Mr. Rosenstein made these suggestions in the spring of 2017 when Mr. Trump's firing of James B. Comey as FBI director plunged the White House into turmoil. Over the ensuing days, the president divulged classified intelligence to Russians and over. No, he didn't. No, that's a lie. That's another lie. Hillary Clinton was hacked by the Chinese. Hacked. The Inspector General Charles McAuliffe of the intelligence community said all her emails were forwarded to a foreign entity, not Russia. We know now it's China because of Louis Gohmert. He didn't divulge classified intelligence. That's what someone said. If you go to the article, and I'm not even going to click on the articles, I read the article. Somebody said that. An unnamed source close. And everything the president says is classified. The president can declassify anything he wants. You don't think that, like, when Sadat and Menachem Begin and Carter were were in Camp David in the late 70s, and they're, forging this peace deal between Israel and Egypt, that Carter didn't talk about classified intelligence. Of course. Tell me how many times did President Obama meet with Medvedev, and even a hot mic? I'll be able to speak freely or do what I want to do once I win. How do you cannot conduct the affairs of the presidency without obviously discussing things that are, of course. What about Reagan and Gorbachev? You don't think Reagan spoke about classified issues? Rumi Kallis. Harvey Reid, dude. Harvey Reid, thank you. Rumi Kallis. Yes, CNN is a state of shock. Thank you, Rumi. Thank you, Harvey. Yes, CNN is in a state of shock. And Texas, how about that Republican win? Yes, Rumi Kallis. Yes. First in 139 years in that district. Yes. And then I have to hear every single day, Rumi and Harvey, every single day. The enthusiasm. Democrats are really enthusiastic. They're really enthusiastic. There's a walkaway. There's a hashtag walkaway. Before that, there was a hashtag Demexit. Democrats hate each other, hate themselves. There is no enthusiasm within the Democratic Party. They've lost 8 out of 10 special elections, and by some counts, 8 out of 9. I think I'm adding a contest that wasn't a special election when I say 8 out of 10. It doesn't translate into winning. Thank you, Rumi Kallis. Thank you, Rumi. As always, thank you. Harvey Reid, thank you. Harvey Reid, thank you so much. This is just unbelievable. I mean, they're throwing. I have never seen a trapped, wounded, entity, creature. The media is in a corner, and they're spitting, and they're clawing, and they're biting, and they're pooping, and they're doing everything, barfing. They're doing everything possible. Republicans control over 30 state legislatures, over 30 governors, the House, the Senate, the executive. The American political system is controlled by the GOP. The Democratic Party has only the media and Hollywood, and they were absolutely impotent in stopping this little guy, not Churchill, this little guy. And if they don't get to 23, I'm on RT's Crosstalk. I'm on the Daily Caller. I wrote my article that they're not going to win 6 reasons. I pitched it as will. The article title says might, but in the article itself, it says they're not going to win 23 seats, and they give 6 reasons why. I'm on RT's Crosstalk in my pinned tweet at H.A. Goodman author. They're not going to win. This is all about midterms. They're pulling out all the stops. I'm not going to talk about SCOTUS because then, boom, not YouTube. I always abide by YouTube policies. So I'm not going to go ahead and give my whole spiel on SCOTUS, but that's going to go through too. But this is beyond. I mean, the Steele dossier was bad enough. Now they're just going ahead. Rhonda, Iowa girl. Walpo just came out with an article with a different spin on the Rosenstein comments. Let me check that. He should fire Rosenstein, and then Rosenstein should go ahead and get a lawyer, and then the discovery process will be fantastic. Thank you, Rhonda, Iowa girl, as always. Thank you. Washington Post. Rosenstein. Oh, McCabe memos. Rosenstein denies that he proposed secretly taping. He's a liar. So McCabe memos say Rosenstein considered secretly. McCabe memos written by Andrew McCabe. Wow. This gets nastier and nastier and nastier and nastier and nastier and nastier. And they're either stupid because they're helping Trump, or, I mean, they're so stupid. What they think, this is how stupid they are. This is how utterly corrupt and stupid they are. They're like, we're going to let people know that everyone in his administration thinks that he should have been fired. See how everyone thinks that he should have been fired. See, and then what Trump's going to do is like, oh, by the way, you tried to go ahead and undermine me. I'm going to go ahead and fire you. You know, I just this is unbelievable. So, okay, so this Washington Post, it's ridiculous. McCabe memos. So don't say, they can't say that Rosenstein could deny all he wants. You have McCabe now, who's as a grand jury investigation investigating him. The whole thing is collapsing down. They're scrambling. That's why I spend so much time on the midterms. They're scrambling. They need to win the midterms. If they don't win the midterms, they're done. This is the second election for them. They were already toast after the first election. They're going to be even more in hot water, deep trouble. Papa D. Rosenstein said no uncertain terms that Trump has nothing to trigger 25th. Has done nothing. Exactly. Well, the thing, Papa D, the thing, and Rumi Callis and Harvey and Rhonda Iowa Girl, they're trying to hurt in any way, shape, or form possible. This is madness. Wow, Temps and Big Bear getting into 20s. Wow, at night, yay. Papa D, Big Bear, very nice. Papa D, thank you. Thank you as always. Rumi, Callis, Rumi, thank you as always. Harvey, thank you as always. Papa D, so let's continue this road into insanity. Mr. Rosenstein made these suggestions in the spring of 2017. When Mr. Trump's firing of James B. Comey as FBI director plunged the White House into turmoil. Oh, he plunged. Oh. Everyone, he was such a beloved figure. Comey was such a beloved figure. 6'8" buffoon. Biggest liar in American, one of the biggest liars in political history. The guy should be in jail for leaking classified memos for a political purpose, not for whistleblowing. Over the ensuing days, the president divulged classified information to Russians. No, he didn't. That's fake news. Sorry, that's not true. And revelations emerged that Mr. Trump had asked Mr. Comey to pledge loyalty and ended an investigation, pledged loyalty. Loretta Lynch met with Bill Clinton on a plane to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. I'm telling you, the midterms is going to be monumental for the history of this country. Mr. Rosenstein just 2 weeks into his job was just 2 weeks. He was just 2 weeks into his job, and then he wanted to undermine Trump. Fantastic. He had begun overseeing the Russia investigation and played a key role in the president's dismissal of Mr. Comey. Yeah, so Mr. Rosenstein was caught off guard when Mr. Trump cited the memo on the firing, and he began telling people that he feared he had been used. What does that even mean? He had been used? You worked for the president, buddy. This guy, Rod Rosenstein, is an overt Democratic operative. Adriana Gates, I missed you, Adrian Arcade526. It's all about to blow. Yes, Adriana. Adriana, thank you so much for watching. We love you. Thank you, Adriana. Thank you, Adriana. Papa D. Rumi, Papa D. I believe 100% if they could have figured. Uh-oh. I can't say that, but you know what? Yeah, I mean, we're dealing with evil. So just going to say it. It's evil now. But Trump is actually pretty smart. He's pretty smart. And this helps Trump immeasurably because he's like, okay, I'm going to fire Rosenstein. Bye. Monday, if he fires Rosenstein, it would be the best thing ever because it would take the Democrats away from SCOTUS, away from midterms, and it would then be, no, Mueller. And then voters going to the midterm be like, Mueller, I don't care about Mueller. What? Oh, I'm so jumbled. Democratic voters. Every day you hear, they're really enthusiastic. There was a poll that said that Republicans were, they clicked the box or they told a person online on a landline that they were somewhat enthusiastic about voting. Whereas that same person in the landline who was a Democrat said that they were very enthusiastic. Well, that shows energy. That shows passion. That shows enthusiasm. No, it doesn't, dummy. No, it doesn't, you idiot. When Trump goes to the Trump rallies, his speeches, everyone it's electric. You can feel it even from YouTube. You can even feel it from the screen. He's hilarious. He's hilarious. Peace with North and South Korea. There's literally North and South Korea have been at war, technically at war since 1953. It was a ceasefire. It was a ceasefire. Now you have President Moon Jae-in and Kim Jong-un of North Korea, and they're shaking hands. And you got bupkis from the media. Nothing. And then it's like they're trying every single dirty trick. It's not working. This is like an Access Hollywood tape gone. Like they're trying to like, oh my God, we don't have an Access Hollywood tape. What do we do? They're pulling out all the stops. Memos written by Andrew McCabe, then the acting FBI director, say Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein suggested he secretly record his talks with President Trump. So, sorry, Rosenstein, you're fired. And that Rosenstein discussed the possibility of trying to remove him from office. Okay. Love Trump. I'm going to say this right now. I can't second guess the guy because he's been pretty right. I'm watching Cabela's for deep state members that are looking for butt covers and Papa D, you speak in a cosmic manner that it emanates throughout the universe, but sometimes I don't exactly know. But Papa D, you are amazing. Rumi, Papa D. Oh my God. I don't want to second guess Trump because he's been right like all along, but I have to say he's wrong. He has to fire Rosenstein. Like I'm talking about like next week. Okay? He has to fire Rosenstein. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. I mean, Obama fired Stanley McChrystal, who was actually like waging a war in Afghanistan just because of a hit piece that was written by, what's his name? The poor guy who passed away. Well, very likely. Anyway. My mind is like a blur. He has to fire. He has to fire. He has to fire Rosenstein. You can't do this. This is not just insubordination. This is an act of coup. Whatever. What do I know? What do I know? I have my bobbleheads and my nice posters in the background. What do I know? It's just an act of coup against our government. You know, what could go wrong? There's literally like factions within the United States government that want our president no longer there. And it's not right. It's not right, but it's okay. No, it's not even okay. Thank you, Dogfather of Hull. Thank you. So let's go really quickly. The only way to the 980 people, watching. All right. 980 people. I have an upload from last night that I want you to share. And it's very important because I go through every single race in the Cook political report. That is a toss-up, that they say is a toss-up. The reason I'm going here and I'm talking about this, it's very important, and it's a little bit dry. It's extremely important to the 1,000 people watching. River Storm, thank you. It's a half an hour in. We already know there's an active coup in the United States government. This we've known for a while. Today has confirmed it. Today has absolutely confirmed it. You have Rod Rosenstein who says, oh, yeah, we want to. The 25th Amendment is when, God forbid, someone has a stroke. Okay. It's not when someone like tweets. It's not, oh, chaos. Like, they're so stupid. These Democratic strategists are like, everyone likes the establishment. We'll just keep explaining how Trump is not the establishment. Well, that's stupid. That's stupid. That's exactly why he was elected, dummies. Stupid dummies. But I want you to go ahead and this is a segment from last night I did. Thank you, Eric H526, where I go through every single race. And I'm telling you, there's no way Democrats get to 23 seats, which is why they're going crazy. You understand? They're going nuts because of that. They're going completely bonkers and loony. I'm telling you, they know what's taking place, and they're fighting and scratching and clawing. Look, here's what I did. You can go to the Cook Political Report, okay? You go to Cook Political Report, you're going to see they have, as of September 21st, 28 GOP toss-ups and 9 Democratic leaning, with GOP incumbents that are leaning Democrat. GOP incumbents that are leaning Democrat. Okay? So essentially, you have 37 seats. This is really, really important, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't want this legitimized. You don't want them to. Midterms equals protect this nation. So you don't want Democrats to go ahead and actually plunge the nation into the most chaotic turmoil based on nonsense, whereas the true actual crimes that Hillary Clinton commits is just overlooked. You don't want that. That's why I'm trying to tell you, like, I said to myself, look, my subs, I owe it to them to actually go through each race, each contest, each district. There's 37, let's say, toss-ups, okay? Or 37 that could be trouble. They need 23. I did the analysis yesterday that nobody's doing. Like I don't get how 538 and all these places. I don't even get how Cook puts a lot of these as toss-ups. It makes no sense, and I'll explain why. You cannot say, I don't think you can say that a congressional district is a toss-up if the incumbent gets 38,000 votes and the challenger gets 15,000 as a Democrat in the primary. How does that work? How is that a toss-up? I don't care if the Democratic challenger is up by 4 or 3 in the polls. That's ridiculous. It's irrelevant. John Ossoff was up by 7. Not long before he faced Karen Handel, and he lost, and they spent $30 million. Democrats are 8 and 10. They're 2 and 10. They've lost 8 special elections out of 10. By some counts, 8 special elections out of 9. I'm trying to tell you that the best case they get, like they could make it close. So I could be sweating. I could be sweating on election night. But I'm not. I'll be rejoicing. It is true. Like they could make it very, very, very close. But for that to happen, a lot of good things need to take place. So I'm telling you, like, I'm trying to tell you that all of this, everything they're doing, every single thing they're doing, from trying to say that, oh, the chaos and everything, oh my God, he's so crazy. Dean Diefendorf, thank you. Thank you, Dean. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dean. Greatly appreciated. Look, this is really important. I'll go through it really quickly. All right. Democrats are going to lose again. They know this. That's why they're going, full steam ahead, warp, overdrive. The media is out of its mind. It's going crazy. It's going absolutely crazy. Rumi Callis. Everyone, thank you. All right. Let's just go really quickly. Really quickly. And I've been doing uploads, so I'm almost at 117,000 now. So McCabe has already, the McCabe memos already sinks Rosenstein. But Horace, forgive me for harping on this, but midterms are going to go the way of turnout. Please vote 2000. Absolutely, Horace, you're 100% right. Everyone needs to vote. Horace, we have to go. It has to be just like in San Antonio. A Republican red wave. Horace, you're 100% right. I agree 100% with you, and I thank you for that. And I thank you for your support always. But ladies and gentlemen, check it out. I'll give you each of the 37 seats right now. Arizona 2, I gave Dems the win. Okay, they got 8,000 more primary votes. I gave Dems the win in Arizona 2. Okay, Darrell Issa's seat, no. The Republican Diane Harkey got 12,000 more votes in the primary from her challenger. Harkey's going to get that seat. Okay. Now, for Iowa District 1, Minnesota 2, Minnesota 3, it was meaning the Republican there was uncontested, meaning he wasn't he or she was not primaried. I literally gave Dems the win. Okay, do you see what I'm doing here? I'm just giving out wins. I'm not even saying whether I think the Republican will keep the district. If I did, in the Cook Political Report, if I didn't see that the Republican actually was primaried, if I didn't see that there was a vote count of how many he got and the challenger within the Republican primary there, and there's a Democrat, no, I just gave them the win. So already one, so Arizona 2, This is the first net gain, okay, for Democrats. Iowa 1, I'll just give them the win. Minnesota 2, Minnesota 3. That's Iowa, Minnesota, Minnesota 2, 3. That's 4 wins. Okay. New Jersey 11. Mike Sherrill got 35,000 votes. His Republican challenger got substantially less. So I gave Democrats the win. So I gave Democrats the win. So 5 wins. Pennsylvania 7, vacant. It was close. The Republican actually got more, but I gave Dems the win there. All right. I just gave Dems the win there. Like, I just gave them the win there. Fine. That's like everything. Pennsylvania 17. This is really important, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to, Rhonda, Iowa girl, I can no longer support you because you are a white male and you should not be believed. So, Jill and Brandon and Harano told me that white males are liars and should shut up. Rhonda, Iowa girl. That whole thing is gonna backfire big time, like everything they do. You can't really run on hate. That's the thing. Rhonda and Rumi and everyone and Papa D, you can't run on hate. If you go ahead and run on hate, it ain't gonna work out. The opposite will happen. But here, this is really, really important. So these are all, like when I say, oh, Dems are going to win, Republicans are going to win, Republicans are going to win. I'm giving like everything. So Pennsylvania 17, like the commercials against Conor Lamb are hilarious. And I think Rothfuss has a good chance there. But that's the 7th Dem win. So net gain of 7. Okay. Now, Virginia 10, Cook Political Report puts, I'm saying Comstock's going to win. So she had over 6,000, around 6,000 more votes in the primary than her. So in the primaries, ladies and gentlemen, it's just so obvious. If you have 6 to 30,000 more votes than your competitor, it's not a toss-up. I don't care what the polls say. It's not a toss-up. That was a living, breathing poll right there. People went to the polls and they voted for their candidate. And in the primaries, you can see. And if a Republican incumbent has a 6 to like 20 to 30,000 vote lead over his Democratic challenger in the primaries, when you compare the two, and they already have an entrenched foothold in that district in a great economy, and Democrats have only won 2 out of 10 special elections thus far with the spotlight on them, I don't see that happening. But of course, the pollsters don't look at this stuff. They just talk about polls. These polls are archaic. They don't measure anything. We saw that with the election. Oh, well, they finally narrowed down. Yeah, the whole thing was a stupid charade. Then go ahead and poll people the day before. Save us the agony of, Clinton up 20, Clinton up 50. Blah, blah, blah. Then you go in California, and I have zero clue. I swear to you, I have zero clue. I have zero clue how anyone, the Cook Political Report, anyone goes ahead and puts a lot of these, especially in California, as toss-ups. So I'm saying the best, ladies and gentlemen, the best that you get, the best that they can do is now 22 votes, 22 net gain seats. They need 23. So California 10, Jeff Denham got 35,000 votes in the primary. His challenger got 15,000. Why is this even a toss-up? So that's a GOP win. Steve Knight got 46,000 votes for California 25th district. Okay, his challenger, Katie Hill, got 17,000. Tell me how that's a toss-up. I have no clue. I'm going to go back and see how accurate that was after the midterms. But these pollsters are like, I don't get it. I don't get how they can even rank certain, like some of these as toss-ups. California 39, Young Kim's going to win that one. So Young Kim will win that one. There are many Asian Americans in California 39, and she's a fantastic candidate. She's going to win that one. Okay, California 45, the 45th district. I mean, how do you get Mimi Walters gets 62,000 votes in the primary? 62,000 people went to vote for Mimi Walters. Okay, I mean, you got to check this out again because it's just unbelievable. And they talk about enthusiasm, and this is California. This is California 45. Ebenezer asks, your cheese has slid off your cracker into the craziness of freedom of mind and free will. If we lose, we still live. The earth still spins. If we don't, still good times. Either way, be the master of your own cheese. Thank you, Ebenezer Adams. Thank you. That was awesome and beautiful and a great reality check to me. Thank you. Ebenezer Adams, you're awesome. I greatly appreciate that very, very, very much. I will remember that, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Ebenezer Adams. Thank you. Rhonda, Iowa girl, thank you as always. That was awesome. Ebenezer Adams, I appreciate that, and I'll remember that. I'm virtually positive that I am positive that Republicans will keep control of the House and Senate. But let's just go ahead real quick. I have to see this. California 45. So, yeah, she got 62 in the House in District 45. She got 62,000. Mimi Walters got 62,863 votes. 62,000. Katie Porter got 23,000. So you're going to tell me, and then if you add up, if you add up the Democrats, it still doesn't even come close to Mimi Walters. 62,000 people got off their butts, got off their behinds to vote for the Republican. Hello, I mean, where do these people get this whole enthusiasm? Oh, well, they said that they're somewhat, kind of, certain, not really, that they might vote, and the Democrats on that measure are up 5% from when they said that they weren't really going to vote the other year. Wow, what does that even mean? It's so stupid. 62,863 people voted for Mimi Walters in District 45 of California for the primary. It's not a toss-up. They put it as a toss-up. It ain't a toss-up. Not a toss-up. Dana Rohrabacher, also not a toss-up. He's going to win. He got 38,000 votes. That's the seventh win of the 37 here for Republicans. Harley Ruda got 21,000. Got almost double the amount of people for a primary to vote for him than his challengers. Tell me again how his challenger's going to win, the Democrat. So, okay, Colorado 6th, uncontested, meaning the Republican didn't have a primary. Or there was no information about either the Democrat or the primary Republican. They were both uncontested or whatever. That's the 8th Dem win. I just gave them a win. I don't know what's going to happen. The Republican could win that. But I just gave them the win. So, that's like the best possible case scenario. Best. I'm giving, of the 37, the best case scenario. And I'm being logical with the Republican wins. Okay, I'm being logical with the Republican wins. Florida 27, Maria Salazar. I gave her the win. So she got what? Thousands ahead, about 2,000 ahead of her challenger. That's a substantially lead. She's a great candidate. So I gave her the win. But fine. Iowa 3, I gave Dems the win. It was uncontested. I didn't know there was the Republican wasn't primaried. Okay, I gave Dems the win there. That's the 9th win. Illinois 6th, uncontested. That's the 10th win for Democrats. I'm just giving them wins just if it's uncontested. Illinois 12. Okay, Connolly got 8,000 more votes from the incumbent. Mike Boston can still win, but okay, whatever. So I'm just going to give the Democrats the win. Here, and these are just, Kansas 2, Democrat ran uncontested. I'll just give the Democrats the win there. Okay? So they have 12 wins, net gain. A net gain of 12 seats thus far. Okay? A net gain of 12 seats. Papa D, if I'm Kavanaugh, they make me go first. Okay, I didn't do it. Your turn. Rhonda Iogo, McCabe, through his attorney, does not dispute Rosenstein's remarks. The memo at the FBI. Holy cow. Exactly. Yes. Can you say winning, Rhonda? Can you say just firing Rosenstein? Maybe Trump is just relaxing and he's like, these people are so stupid. This is insane. I mean, it's everything that he needs to fire Rosenstein and fire Mueller. It's hilarious. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you so very, very, very much, as always. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Quinte Giver, Texas district on the border of Mexico, 70% Hispanic, vote Republican. Has it in 100. That's right. That's right. San Antonio. That's right. Exactly. That was a Quinte Gifford. That was a huge, huge upset. And talk about a blue wave. How do you have a blue wave when that happens? Lawrence F. Hello, everyone. Sorry, secretly taping the President Trump lost. Sorry. Exactly. Exactly. They want to secretly tape Trump. But I mean, Rod Rosenstein has already signed his termination notice. So from the Department of Justice. This is going to be hilarious. I'm going to really enjoy the television, like the TV, like they're going to go nuts. Kevin Yoder. Okay, I don't understand what the Cook Political Report does this, or anyone. It's not just Cook; it's all of them. I'm using Cook, but they have this as a toss-up. Kevin Yoder of Kansas gets 52,000. Sharice Davids get 23,000 in the primary. How on earth is it a toss-up or even close? I don't care what the polls say. Polls are meaningless. It's people getting out to vote. We've already seen with Mimi Walters in California and Kevin Yoder, you got 50 to 60,000 people just for a primary? That's a lot of people. I gave Dems the win in Kentucky 6. That's their 13th win. Okay. Maine 2nd district, I gave them a win. It's just unopposed. Okay. Michigan 8. Yeah, I gave Mike Bishop the win. He gets 75,000 people getting out of their, moving their behinds to vote for him. And his challenger Slotkin got 57,000. But no, the GOP gets the win. Michigan 11. Also, I gave the GOP the win there. They got more people. I gave North Carolina 9. Yeah, Dan McReady got a substantially more than his challenger, so I gave North Carolina 9 to Democrats. Unopposed in New Jersey 3, I gave to Democrats. That's their 6 wins, so now we're sweating a little bit. I'm starting to sweat at this point, okay? I'm starting to sweat at this point. So I'm starting to sweat, ladies and gentlemen, on election night. So they have 16 wins, but that's like the best case scenario. I'm just handing off wins for races, for contests where there's no primary, where the incumbent wasn't primaried. I don't know if those places are going to go, Republican or Democrat. I'm just handing them wins. So you get to 16. So Democrats now 16 wins. So we're almost wrapping up 37. Okay. New Jersey 7. Tom Malinowski barely beat Leonard Lance, but I gave him the win. Democrat win. New Mexico 2, I gave Democrats the win. Now they have 18 net gain seats. They need 23. New York 19, unopposed. Okay, there again, the Republican had no primary challenge, so I just gave Dems the win there. New York 22, Republican wasn't primaried. I gave Dems the win. I just is the best case scenario. I'm just giving them wins for no reason. Okay, just giving them. I'm not even analyzing the unopposed, the Republicans that weren't primaried. I mean, like, I'm literally giving all the Republicans who were not primaried wins, Democratic wins. I'm saying they'll lose to Democrats. They won't, but I'm just saying they will, just for the sake of being super safe, because I'm every day saying Republicans are going to keep control of the House. New Jersey 22, Dem win. That's the 20th net gain seat. Okay, let's go. We're sweating. Ohio 1, Dem win. 21. Now Texas, Culberson, the guy gets 28,000. His Lizzie Fletcher gets 9,000. I think he's going to win. Okay, it's not even an issue. Republicans will win there. But Democrats have right now 21 seats that they've won. So I'm sweating. And these are the toss-up / Republican-leaning Democrat. These are the best-case scenario seats for Democrats. Okay? I'm giving you literally all 37. And I'm just giving Democrats wins here and there. Texas is 32nd. Yeah, Pete Sessions is going to win that. 32,000 to 15,000. I think he's going to easily defeat Colin Allred. Okay, Virginia, Scott Taylor, 28,000 to 17. Yeah, so that's a GOP win. Okay, first of all, Dave Bratt's going to win Virginia 7. So when it happens, we can go ahead and go back and say, oh, well, HA, you did say that. But I'm giving Democrats the win there, okay? Even though his opponent, Spanberger, was a CIA official, and they're having fun with her CIA past. I'm telling you, it's getting so hilarious and nasty. He's not going to lose that seat, but I'm just giving it to Democrats. So Democrats have 22 net gain seats. 22 net gain seats. With all of this I'm giving you, okay? Where I didn't even, it was, if the Republican didn't get primaried, I just gave the Democrats a win. For seats like this, where neither Spanberger or Bratt were primaried, well, this is a unique, one of the unique ones. But just to give you an example, a year or 2 years ago, Dave Bratt had 218,000 votes. The Democrat had 160,000. So tell me again how Spanberger is going to win as a swamp official. Whatever, I gave them the win. See, there's a method to the madness here. There's a method to the madness. And then Washington 8, I gave the GOP the win. Dino Rossi got 58,000, and Kim Schreier, the Democrat, got 25,000. So and that's like a toss-up. And people are, oh, the race is close. Like, how is the race close? You have 58,000 Republicans moved their behind to vote for this guy. You don't think they're going to go and show up in the election? You got 25,000 for the Democratic challenger. Basically over double. So again, I just listed 37 races. 37. The best is 22. And that was Dave Bratt was the 22nd win here. Democrats, Dave Bratt will lose. I'm saying he's going to win, but I just gave Democrats the win there. The Republican's going to win. I just gave Democrats the win. Papa D, the models used to guide sampling in the polls are obviously no longer valid since 2016. At least. Absolutely. They're no longer valid. They're no longer relevant in an age where you have extreme media frenzy. The American culture is more like tribalistic in nature. Alexander Downer will go down in history as a stooge for the Clinton who single-handedly caused irreparable damage between USA and Australia. Congrats, buddy. Exactly. George Papadopoulos. I love this guy. I love this guy. This guy's awesome. I repeat, the British and Australian governments were illegally spying on Trump campaign by April 2016. Let that sink in. George Papadopoulos. God bless this guy. He's amazing. So I just in the best case scenario, which is absurd, the most absurd scenario, they get 22 wins. Okay, this is the 37 toss up. We just don't know what could happen. Democrats could run the table. Well, I gave them wins when I didn't even bother with Republicans that didn't have a primary challenge. I just gave the Democrat the win because I couldn't gauge how many primary votes they got. Now, 11 of the 22 wins I gave to Democrats because the GOP incumbent was unopposed and wasn't primaried. Again, using Cook Political Report toss-ups, 28 GOP toss-ups, and then 9 Democratic-leaning GOP seats. So 30, you just say 37. You can just, in your mind, 37 toss-ups or that lean Democrat of Republican incumbents where they have to get net gains. I came out with 22 wins, and 11 of those 22 wins I just gave because the Republican did not have a challenger, and I couldn't gauge how many votes he or she got. And they didn't even get 23 wins. And I gave them wins like in Virginia. Like I gave them a win. I gave Democrats a win in Virginia 7. Dave Bratt's going to win. And I think Connor Lamb in Pennsylvania could lose very easily to Keith Rothfuss. Connor Lamb barely won against Rick Saccone. And no offense to Rick Saccone. He's a very accomplished, good, honorable man. Not the best candidate, though. Not saying that Rothfuss is the best candidate. But he's been there like for years and years. He knows that area. And Connor Lamb will not have the luxury of all the media talking about him. But I still gave Democrats the win. So see, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to say, well, I'm making this prediction. I want to go ahead and see the actual 37 that Democrats could win. And they only get to 22, even if you're just overly generous. Overly generous. Now, that's with them keeping all their seats. The Republican incumbents are going to keep all of theirs in their areas. Okay, it's a great economy already. I mean, I'm talking about like when they say the strong and, strong Republican or lean Republican or whatever. But the toss-ups, the 37 toss-ups that they keep talking about, I just went over now with you. The best case scenario, they lose by 1. It could be that they get 18, 19, 20 seats. That could happen. That could very well happen. I don't doubt that. It could be that, it could be that I'm just being overly generous and the 11 wins I gave them, they only 5 or 6. If they get 5 or 6, you could go ahead and let's say they get 6 wins. So the 22, you subtract 5, that's 17. That's still close, but not really close. It's still 6 away. So, I mean, it's just, PGTMR2. Yes. PGTMR2. That's the best. That wins the internet. Yes. Well, my channel is slow. We're almost at 117,000 because I'm doing uploads. So I'm gonna do an upload after. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna okay, I'll be back. But I want to say, like, to the 858 people, this is a contest on November 6, 2018. It's going to be a party on this channel. And I don't care. I don't care. There's going to be a party on this channel. Democrats are not going to get the House. And when they don't get the House, who knows? Like, they're going to actually, like, you'll see the meltdown. You'll see the tears, like, there'll be moisture on your computer screen. You'll be like, what is that? Oh, it's Democratic tears. It's the spigot is, and they're going to turn on Bernie voters. And I told you they're going to turn on Bernie voters. And I told you they're lying, and nobody wants Nancy Pelosi there. That's what I'm saying. Like, I gave wins like Connor Lamb and the CIA official. Like, this is not. I also gave them close wins here and there. So, you know, they could very well get 17 to 18 seats. I wouldn't be surprised. But don't worry, like election night, what's going to take place is they're going to be like, oh my God, we're 18 seats. We're 18 seats. We're 19 seats. And then it's going to be like, we're 19 seats. And then they're going to be like, we're 19 seats. There's only 3 hours left. And then it's like, we're 20 seats. Oh, but it doesn't look like it now. Oh, but it could still happen. Oh, but it's not. And then it's going to be like, we're 21 seats. No. And then it's going to be like, you know, party. HH channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back. God bless. To my super chat. Everyone, God bless. Thank you so much to my super chat. Thank you. Thank you so very, very, very much. Hit subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. And just thank you for everything. I'll see you very, very soon. Watch the upload. It'll be up in minutes. Thank you.